Hi there! Last week was a very hot week, not only because of the weather, but also because a lot of bows have arrived. And so I took a short break, and today it's quite moderate. We have currently 26 degrees Celsius and around 46 to 50% humidity. Currently it says 46, a few minutes ago it was 50, so as you know, these are the environments. And I would like to take the opportunity to shoot the Yanbian the first time. So this bow here, the Korean traditional shape, has been or is a present from Armin Hirmer. Thank you very much for this. And he has reviewed this bow just recently, and when I saw the video I knew instantly I want to have this bow for my quiver set, for the black tiger quiver set from Yeochang Yun. And it fits perfectly. Just show you, it's just nice. Yeah, this is just in full black. The whole set reminds me on a ninja. Yeah, so if it's dark you won't be seen. And very cool is that the string is white with a black serving and matching arrows. And these arrows have been sent before, and maybe you don't know, but if you order arrows you can't wish any color, so you get what you get. And in this case we have a perfect match. Furthermore, the poundage is very good. So I have the training bow, the original KTB, which has nominal 30 pound, and here in my environment is about 36 or so, or 37 or 38, depends. And this is then the next step, this one. I can pull the bow relatively far. In the flat I have measured 42 pounds. Let's see how much we have now. First the specs. The bow has a length as Armin has measured, and just give it to you just in case you haven't seen the video and know the values by heart. The overall length, knock to knock, is 50.5 inches. Strung it's 46. Race height is nearly 6 inches, it's 5.75. Weight is 295 grams. And what else? The bending length I have calculated is 38.75. 37, yeah. Recommended arrow weight, and this is interesting, by Heekiong is, because the bow has been built by Heekiong Archery, is 9.3 grain per pound, which is a bit above the recommended arrow weight according to the bamboo archery table. And of course we will follow this recommendation by Heekiong Archery. What else? So max draw is 31 inches, and this is my personal max draw as well, so here we have another match. Okay. The scale, for those who question the preciseness of this tool, I've verified the scale with a bowyer, and he had a weight that we just checked, and I have ordered another weight because I don't have his weights here for proof. So we will then later see how good the measurements with this tool is. And every weight has a little deviation as well. So, as always, if you measure something, you need to be aware of the circumstances. Yeah. So currently we have 46% humidity. The bow is strung for about a few minutes, and I use always this scale. Yeah. I have no second one, not for this measurement. All right. .48. Next one. This is my max. 44.66. So it's around 44, 45. Usually I should be fine with the 44 pounds because the first one was, I think it was a lucky punch. So I calculated for the 44 pounds because I've expected it. The arrow needs to be 409 grain weight. No problem with my pole arrow because it's double as heavy as required. But the speed test I would like to do with my tool here as well, just to see how it works. Yeah, these arrows are just a bit under, so maybe I don't pull them completely. Usually I have 28 inches draw length if I do it the Turkish style, because if I want to do the measurements with the chronic, then I shoot the Turkish style, and then I don't have that much draw length, and then the arrow weight fits. Okay, sun comes out, this is nice. I have received a few recommendations to create a good pole. And first is to get the weights from this exercise tool, and 5 kilo weight, for example, which has already a hole in it, and then you have a pole there that has half a centimeter less diameter, so that it can swing a little. Then you dig a hole and you put the pole in the hole with the weight around the hole, and then you're good to go. Another one has, and he was so kind to give me his video so that we can do a comparison between the traditional pole solution and my minimal stone solution. And you will see then the arrow flights with the pole versus my stone. The first recommendation with the weight was also provided with a hint for safety. If you use a pole, you need to have, or should have, a distance to the pole of around 2 meters or so, because the arrow flies and then swings back. And this is not in a nice curve, but just that, it wiggles. And beware so you don't know what gets hit by the arrow. My stone solution is a bit more straight. The arrow flies, drops and dents. And but this is not traditional. Yeah, this is the easy solution I have. I haven't bought so far a weight. I said I wanted to do it, but Semaj has already checked it, and the arrow flight of my solution I like a little more, but decide yourself, and it will be interesting to see. So we will have then side-by-side videos, and then you can make up your choice. All right, did I forget something? No, looks good. Nominal weight, strength of the bow should be 36 pound at, I think it was 28 inches, because there is nothing written on it, and Armin has measured on a stiller stock, and he usually says the strength at 28, and the Koreans measure at 31. I think it's more 36 pounds at 28 inches. And as we have just seen, if I pull 31 inches, it's more than 40 pounds. And this was also the result Armin had in Malta. Okay, in Malta, on Malta, at Malta, you know what I mean. Okay, let's shoot. What's the setup? We have the stone. We have 5 or 6 meters bend, and this is the not traditional solution for those who want to stay close to the mini pole. As I said, recommendation is if you use a pole, use your distance. You should have about 2 meters distance. Here I can stand directly. I just need to make sure that I don't step on it. Yeah, that's all. And then I use the arrow, which is extremely heavy. Yeah, so we have here more than 800 grain. This is to burn as much energy as possible. And it's a bit tricky here. I will manage it. You see, the arrow flies that way, got stopped and drops instantly. So there is around this area nothing. Yeah, I can stand directly here, don't get damaged by the band. And the arrow doesn't swing around. If you want to get it swinged, then you need a pole. Minimum 2 meters or more if possible. Okay, another time. In this case, the band got stuck here on the bow, but this is no problem either. As you could see, the flight is not as far as before. So, the bow shoots very nicely. So the sound is very dark. It's very silent. Yeah? The heaviness or the weight of the arrow supports this, of course. Yeah, you see, a bit of a straight line from here to the arrow. And I'm not in danger at all. So, another one. Now I feel the more than 40 pounds a bit, so I need to bend more. But yeah, arrow flight is nice. The bow performs very nicely, and this is only the base model by Heekiong Archery. Yeah, you see, for me the solution is working fine. The pole topic would be a bit of a hassle. First, I don't get it. 2.50 would be best. I get 2 meters in my car, but yeah, I could do so. That would be then 10 meters, 2 meters, and I would need to dig a hole into our ground, which is very difficult here in our garden. So usually my husband needs to do it, and we have a lot of stone here. Next, then we always have this hole and need to find it the next time, because I won't kept it that open here. Next one, I need to store the material somewhere. The stone is just placed here. It doesn't take much effort to put it away. My personal taste is my husband's idea. I like very much. Speed test. These arrows have a length of 32 inches. Spine 600, but this is not so important, and weight 405 grain. They fly nice, they fly straight, and I shoot now the Turkish style with the thumbring from Bamboo Archery, and it will work magnificently. So, Armin has done the speed test as well. But I've learned that not only at scales, but also these chronographs measure differently. And after the last video of the Zeljok bow, Lukáš Navalny has recommended to me to get a second chrony for verification, because this is more precise. To be honest, I think approximately 160 feet per second should be okay, but nevertheless it's interesting to check out, and maybe this device will be delivered this week. We see. If it's available and I can use it, we'll see it in the next video. Okay. $162.7. 166.3, 166.9. That's okay. Now a verification round with the same measurement tool. $162.6. 167.8, 169.6. First one is always a bit lower. This is maybe my collapsing release. I still don't have it, the last tiny bit. I always think I do it, but then later in the video I see, the hand is just a bit forward. This is so difficult to get it out. Don't mind. The others, maybe I pulled a little more. Right, so the speed is good, yeah, no problem. And we can just shoot some arrows the Turkish way, not the Korean style way, because, put this aside. Because the blunt points are not good for these targets. Okay, I show now the difference of the points impact. So a pointy point is impacting first on a very small point, and then the area gets larger. And so initially the force per area is very high, which makes it more easy for a pointy point to penetrate. And if something is penetrating easy, the foam won't move much. Yeah, you see it has been moved, but it has not wandered. Whereas the blunt point has a larger area in the beginning and doesn't change anymore. So the initial tension power per area is lower than for the point, so it's more difficult for the arrow to penetrate. But nevertheless, if it's penetrated, the damage is, yeah, it's different. And you see here. See, the target has moved, and get more closer to the target. So this is a worn out foam target. Yeah. The point here, the first one is here. And I see that this very long arrow has penetrated completely through the worn out target in an area which is now a bit more easy to pull the arrow from. Here it's on the edges, it's quite hard. The other arrow with a blunt point has penetrated more, because if he has just gone through on the first surface, then there is no effort anymore, so it just goes through. Yes, there is energy reduced, otherwise the arrow wouldn't have stuck, yeah, but it's not as effective as for the pointy point. And so the damage of a blunt pointed arrow is, I would say it's higher. The arrow is not made for this, and so you shouldn't use it on a foam target. You can use it on a hay target, yeah, that's possible, but not on foam, and do not use it on 3D targets like animals or so, because they have different shapes, and the blunt point needs a specific tension force per square meter or square millimeter or whatever to penetrate. Yeah, and if the impact power is not high enough, the arrow gets deflected and is flying somewhere else, and you have a hard time finding it, or it reflects back a few meters. And this is no good. Never use it on a 3D target. Here in the garden with a worn out foam target, it's okay, I can do it. But yes, I wouldn't do it very often now, because I want to use these arrows for the next Korean archery days, where I can use them as they are intended. They should fly straight a long way, and yeah, I wish I would hit the target. And for those who do not know, because maybe it's not that common, the Korean targets are more like big blankets, like this, really huge, yeah, so larger than me, and wide. And there's this pattern painted on it, and you try from 154 meters away to reach this blanket. And if you do it, you can see the movement, yeah, from far behind. So that's the reason why it's some kind of blanket. Yeah, of course it's not one, but it's relatively easy movable. And so it's nice to see. Yeah, some guys reach it, and others, the arrow flies and then bloop, drops, like mine, 20 to sometimes 6 meters before the target. So my arrows were too heavy, or my power too less, or whatsoever. Yeah, so a perfect setup will help to reach the target. In this case, these arrows, these ones, are a bit too lightweighted. Yeah, they're approximately the 9 grain per pound. It's not per recommendation of Heekiong Archery. I think the bow can do it, but it wouldn't be, not according to the recommendation of the bow, yeah. Right, that's it. And now shooting a few more arrows, the Turkish style, so that we can just focus on the bow performance. So pulling out, first the pointy point. See here this hole getting smaller. And here the different hole of the blunt point getting closer. Yeah, it's relatively huge. Right, I want to show you the fitting of the handle. So it's a very nice shape. In this case, it's already preformed and or pre-shaped, not adjustable anymore. Except you just remove this band and then change it. But for me it's just perfect. So grabbing a Korean bow like this, going with the index finger on the side, move it like this, and then you have the perfect fitting already. So and for me the handle size is just excellent. Yeah. Good. And now I want to shoot a few more Turkish style arrows so that we can compare better to the others performance wise. There is vibration after the shot, and I tend to to let the finger slide a little. So it's not necessary to combine these two styles, but you can have the index finger there or not, no problem. The vibration is short, yeah, you feel it in the bow. If the arrow would be heavier, then of course vibration would be less. But yeah, these are approximately the 9.3 grain per pound, and that's fine. Close to center shot. The draw is very smooth. So it seems that the Korean bow design supports a smooth draw up to the point where it sticks. So for me, my personal max draw, as you may know it already, is 31 inches. And up to there, so I cannot max it out, because this is already my max and the max of the bow, so we just are a perfect couple here. And yeah, so draw, wow. And what else? Performance-wise, you have seen it. The sound is very nice too, especially not that one. This is a bit, yeah. It's like a guitar, and you can see the oscillation here. And this is, yeah, it's similar to what I can feel after the shot. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, done. And yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah, and I'm very, very happy that Armin has given this bow to me. Very cool. Résumé. What do I think of my Black Tiger Yanbian set? Just excellent. It's so cool. Black is beautiful, so it's a beautiful set. And about the bow, a very nice bow. So it's a very, very nice present. Thank you so much, Armin, for this bow. And it's very much appreciated. And I will have much fun shooting it. I had already today. The draw is very smooth, up to my draw length, with is the max draw of this bow. Furthermore, the sound is nice. The handle is just perfectly fitting. It fits into my Dong-Gae. And what else? Yeah, it's just beautiful shapes, as we know from the Korean bows. We have, and I like ray skin, so it's very durable and color matching, of course. Yeah, and black winding or whipping, just cool. Material-wise, I couldn't say much. I guess this is ash or maple. Who knows? There will be wood inside, but other materials too, so I don't know. And yeah, I cannot say something about it. Even the string material I do not know. I guess it could be Dyneema, but I'm not sure. I would need to look it up. From the Joseon Warbow, I think it's the same material. I will double check and note it here. The color of the string and the serving match precisely with my arrows, the Korean arrows I have. So this is just, what do you want more? Yeah, and I can draw this bow, even I can do it. 42 pounds, no problem, and that's just great. Yeah, but this is the next step then from my training bow to the next level. And the next Korean archery days, I will shoot this one with these arrows. And I hope that I will hit the target. Furthermore, today I have used the quiver set the first time completely for the whole session. And it's very nice to wear, so especially the quiver for the arrows is very nice fitting, so there is no sliding, nothing. The Dong-Gae is moving. This has benefits, but has a negative point as well, so it's not stable, but it's moving a lot. But you can just move it like you need it. Yeah, if you go downstairs, you can just do it like this. If you just get down, you can put it aside. You can put it backwards. So it's very flexible to wear. This is Pro. Yeah, and yeah, it's very beautiful looking as well. I always like to mention my Tsukagi, and I miss a pouch for this one, so I will create one, and so that I have something here where I can put the ring when I don't shoot. This will be done in black, of course. And furthermore, something I would like to mention regarding the poles. So today I've done my shooting on the stone pole, and I can compare it to I hope that I pronounce it correctly. I write down the name here. And he was so kind to give me or allow me to use his videos for comparison. This is just great. Thank you so much. And for me, it's just, yeah, there are a few pros and cons. So the pro for the pole version is that it's the Korean tradition. Yeah, you have it exactly the same way as they practice, and this is then cool. So if you want to do exactly the same, then you need a pole. And if you create a pole and you can't dig a hole, then you need a larger stone. You need to be able to drill a hole into this stone, and you need then the pole itself. The bar or whatsoever. And mind that around this bar should be approximately a half a centimeter air, so that the pole can move. Yeah, it shall not be stuck tightly. Yeah? And you need to be aware that you need distance to the pole, approximately 2 meters. So you need to have the space to do it. And you will have some kind of noise. Yeah, so if the arrow flies and swings back, then it will get against the swing against the pole, and there's always some kind of noise. If you have neighbors that are sensitive to noise, you can be shouted at. You should just stop that. Yeah, because you're not shooting once, you're shooting a few times. Depends. And yeah, if there are kids playing around, you better shouldn't do it. This is always with archery. No one should be in front of your shooting line. This is standard. But there is some kind of difference. If you shoot the arrow with a pole, then you have at least the area around the pole with the distance the band allows, and this needs to be cleared completely. Right. And the pro for my or our version, so that was the idea of my husband, to take a stone, drill a small hole in it, and then screw it in. So I don't know the English word for dübel. Yeah, so this loop is then screwed in, yeah, and this is just tied. The stone is heavy enough. It's not a huge stone, as you have seen. It's easy to store. Doesn't take any more than that. Yeah, you just attach the band and then you're good to go. Performance-wise, the arrow flies straight, gets stopped, falls down. That's it. Yeah, there is no swinging or whatsoever, so you need the area that needs to be cleared in front of you, just in the small angular you're shooting, and that's it. Yeah. There is no noise either, so there is no swimming back. The only noise you hear is this here is a bit, and the sound a flu arrow does. Yeah? But this is because it's a flu arrow. You can do the same procedure with other arrows too, and they are much more silent. And that's the benefit with this version. You have it easy to store, it's easy to create, not much effort, not cost intensive, so quite cheap. It's secure, you can stand just beside your mini pole. You can use it in flats, potentially, if the flat is long enough. No garden needed. You can do it in a friendly environment, no problem. And you don't need to dig a hole or drill a huge hole into a high stone, not required. So that's an easy version that is working very good, very well, but it's not traditional, and that's the only con. So I need to admit, it's not a tradition. It's a solution that has been created by a creative mind, and I like it. And against all odds, I will keep it that way. So even if you prefer pole, this is perfectly fine. So if you want to create one, please feel free. And it's a nice thing. If you can do it, go ahead. Yeah, you're free to do it. And for me, this solution here is working just brilliantly. So the other solution doesn't have an advantage in my eyes. And I allow myself to deviate from the traditions. Okay, that's it from my side for today. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for all the presents. It's just wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for the videos. And have a great time, dear all. And fingers crossed for our friends in Ukraine. Bye-bye.